it's going to be entertaining. Too. I keep all the way up to date. So 6 days ago, he loaded up one called Subs, Secret Antarctic Map, Germans Disappear, Secret Base 211. I heard about that in the military. And Operation High Jump. Dude. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. See what books he has coming out. Spanish. Now, if you want to get a good book to read for $189.67, you can get Nos, Book of the Resurrection. I'm just saying, y'all. All right. It won't expand either. That's weird. It will not expand, people. But this is what it looks like. Miguel Serrano. Yeah, nothing yet. But it's supposed to be coming out. Majority of it's in Spanish. Okay. But they have some in English. And in order to watch some of it, you have to have a membership. Real talk. It's crazy. I love it. And it is $19.99 a month. But it's so freaking good.
After such a phrase from the cap.
Awesome. But membership, and you all what I'm doing, I'm actually breaking stuff down. But it's like a delivery, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you'll understand this Gray Wolf. Hey, Alito, everybody. We're gonna get started here. I'm just gonna get my tea first. I don't care. I gotta have my dandelion tea. So I'm gonna be vegan for the next 2 months. No fish, no none. Just straight up vegan. 1 to 2 meals a day. And definitely no alcohol, y'all. I can't even enjoy my damn, I got organic one. I can't even enjoy it. My body's rejecting all of it. Don't need no alcohol anyway. That's the beautiful thing. I've grown tired of it anyhow. The way people act. Oh yeah, straight right in there, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh shit, a little bit going. Look, my book's right here. Just a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right. Oh, this is some good tea. Oh, I used to do it on my cutting board, but get all that goodness in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that is so strong. It's like coffee. That is like coffee. Let's turn this down. We talk for a minute. No negatives or nothing. We don't need it. The world's full of it. We have to be, what did they say? Be the light to the shepherd, and be a shepherd to the light. Yeah, I know I'm not religious, so I want to make sure that people are clarified in this. I'm looking at people talk about Hebrew, this, that. They're talking like they know, and these people who don't know nothing. We are the true Hebraic people of Shem. But regardless of how long ago, because what's mitigated is not the truth of time. If it was the truth of time, we'd still be in a 364 cycle, 5 season, 13 months. Yet we're not. What they've done though, they've instituted, because of whatever great war it was, they've instituted the bow, people of the Vatican, which that is not a Vatican. They didn't build it either. They created leap years, jump years, like which called hours and everything. Why? Because we're not traversing the earth like we used to. Those things were unimportant. You know, when order is reestablished, who's worried about some time? You know, time is given to bring stress. I don't care about time. I really don't. That's why I guess I've not been punctual as far as being here when I say what time. I don't even care about it. Either you're going to be here or you're not. It's all stress. It is. When they say, well, be at the appointment of, I'm like, okay, I'll render that onto your Caesar. And I in my head, it's the most meticulous of disputes without being outright. You know, is it a big deal? Of course it is. Because first of all, if they weren't poisoning the food and the air and everything else, who would have to go to some friggin' hospital to give out poison? You see what I'm saying? FDA, blah, blah, blah. Why they have to lie so much? And why is it that people are just starting to pay attention? I hope I don't have to run to the bathroom, because y'all will wait. Y'all be like, we're ready to go. I don't drink coffee. Actually, I have something that's high in fiber. It's like a coffee, but it's not. It's called Cinnamon or something like that. I forget what it's called. That's so good. But anyhow, let's go ahead. On my way back here, I saw my boy Chad, and his brother-in-law has the same truck, a white one, and he's putting because my truck has a lift kit on it. It has 2-inch lift, 2-inch rise. You know what the coils are? It's a 2-inch plate rise, and the front has a 1-inch. So I was thinking about either bringing the 1-inch down in the back with a lift kit. They're like $50, or bring the 2-inch up in the front. So I'm still debating. I actually want to raise it because I want bigger tires on there. Now I can put bigger tires even with an inch lower than what it is. I just don't want a small low to the ground truck. I don't have no need for that. I'm in the mountains, you know, about 4,000 or 5,000 feet up. So you know, I would love to be 10,000 feet, but it is what it is. So stopped over there, and you know, the talk. Hey, West Side. The talk became so many different things, and I don't abruptly just stop conversing and leave. I just don't do that. But once the conversation was the conversation, the parlay, the court that we were holding, once we had reached a certain pinnacle, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta do some things, y'all. And it was a wonderful conversation. And that little guy living on the rest, he's trying to get rid of this crazy girl, poking holes in his roof, all kind of weird, selling the TV. I sound like she was met. And he finally, the car that the money that was handed out to him, somewhere around COVID, they handed out a lot of money to Neville Nation people. Turned around and he took the car and went and wrecked it. And that got her to leave. It's pretty sad, man. I don't know how long that. I'm not gonna say what the Hopi said. I don't want to say nothing negative, but I don't know how long they're gonna last because there's so much homosexuality and lesbianism going on. Even though there's good families and children being born, there's so much bad, and I don't like to see the worst for anybody. It's so no knowledgeable about the tobacco, corn maize, and none of that. They just feel like it's an adopted ideology because they thought that tobacco came here from over in English. No, tobacco was cultivated here, just like maize. And it amazes me at the stolen histories that they utilize. And I don't ever want to talk about it. When I was on the res, I used to correct people all the time. Be like, no, that's bull crap. My boy Chad didn't even know there was always horses here. I'm like, dude, The Palomino is from here. The French and Spanish, they might have brought some of their horses. We had plenty of horses, mountain lions, everything. We had it all here. Gray and white wolves. We had everything. But you know how it is, some people don't know that. And I was very arduous when I said, no, brother, trust me when I tell you, we were the original cowboys. So trust me. How do you think we were the original cowboys? And we were so well at handling the steeds, the mares, the stallions. I said, think about it. We're on our land, and we were the handlers of the cat. We taught y'all how to wrangle, but now it's the Mexicans and all. Now they run around call themselves cowboys. It belongs to Negroes and Negroes only. So anyway, that's just reclamation. It's I know the cheetah is an African. I know it. That's right. That's family. That's facts, family. So remember, we were on chapter 30. I just all this bored, and we're gonna just use the words, and you already know what to dispel and what, and you can hold on to it. It doesn't matter. Right, we're on chapter 37. What was it, 37, 38? Oh, no, it was chapter 37. Chapter 37. My apologies. So anyway, halito everybody. It's great to see y'all. So let's go ahead and get into this. So we got 4 books. We're gonna hit like 2 chapters in Enoch, and then we're gonna hit Custodian is a storyline. You gotta remember it's a dialogue. It's not a monologue. So I'm actually reading, like when I was acting classes and all that, I'm going to read it as such and do my best to incorporate the individuals. You know what I mean? So let's go into the parables, which is quatrain on chapter 37. Let me turn this down a little more. I want to have a little something like jazzy like behind this, so we can intrigue the mind. The second vision which he saw, the vision of wisdom, which Enoch the son of Jared, the son of Mahalal, the son of Canaan, and the son of Enos, and the son of Seth, the son of Adam, saw. And this is the beginning of the words of wisdom, which I lifted up my voice to speak, and say to those which dwell on earth, hear ye men of old time, ancient ones. I love that, men of old time. And see ye that come after the words of the Holy One, which I will speak before the host, Lord of Spirits, for those who are into those words, the Creator. It were better to declare them only to the men of old time, but even from those that come after, we will not withhold the beginning of wisdom. So that means it will be bared out fruitfully. And we're seeing that right now. So all those people knocking all this, that, and other, pay them no mind. Trust me. Don't even let it bother you. Be wiser. Till the present day, such wisdom has never been given by the Creator of the Lord of hosts, of spirits, as I have received according to my insight, according to the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits, by whom the lot of eternal life has been given to me. Now 3 parables were imparted to me, and I lifted up my voice and recounted them to those that dwell on earth. On earth. That's leagues and legends. You hear me? The first parable, chapter 38. When the congregation of the righteous shall appear, and the sinners, the darkness, shall be judged for their sins, and shall be driven from the face of the earth. Where to? And when the righteous one shall appear before the eyes of the righteous, whose elect works hang upon the Lord of spirits, and light shall appear to the righteous, and the elect who dwell on the earth, light shall appear. Where then will be the dwelling of the sinners, and where the resting place of those who have denied the Lord of spirits. It had been good for them if they had not been born. When the secrets of the righteous shall be revealed, and the sinners judged, and the godless, y'all know what that means, driven from the presence of the righteous and elect. From that time, those that possess the earth shall no longer be powerful and exalted. You see what he said? Who possess the earth, they make it a possession unto them, even the enemies of man, to control. What did I say about how are we going to be on this earth, not no planet, this earth, to which we exist, and pay for food, pay for shelter? What kind of foolishness? You dig what I'm saying? And who the ones who are behind it? The synagogue of Satan, right? And the godless driven from the presence of the righteous and elect. From that time, those that possess the earth shall no longer be powerful and exalted, and they shall not be able to behold the face of the holy. For the Lord of spirits has caused his light to appear. It means within us, and to be expressed on the outer. It's on the face of the holy, righteous, and elect. So they will not be able to look upon any of us who seek that righteous way. Then shall the kings and the mighty perish, and be given into the hands of the righteous and holy. And thenceforward none shall seek for themselves mercy from the Lord of spirits, for their life is at an end. So I say, keep doing all the goofy stuff, being nosy. You know, they all up in here watching, and they, you know, they got the custodians, they got the end, they got all of them. But see, there is a reason why we carry 31, 32 ounces. There is a reason why we exist. And though they can kill the physical, well, you know what I mean. They are tampering and doing things that go against all natural order. And they don't know about this. Regardless of how they manipulated, changed it, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. So those are two I want to read there. Let's get into the custodial time. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Anyway, when I travel back in time, I am able to only take on the shapes of shadows. I am unable to materialize or conversely feel or touch, but I am able to communicate by a form. That sounds beautiful, but you just interrupted a word there, brother. Materialize or conversely feel or touch, but I am able to communicate by a form of hypnotism and mind control. I know each of you has such powers without realizing. Once you have traveled back in time, it is impossible to have a normal conversation because in theory and practice, neither of you are actually there. So what does that make y'all think about all y'all posting about the Matrix and this, that, and other, okay? You can only develop a specific ether presence within a small bubble coupled with the principal characters, or in other words, reading your mind. Look upon us as ghosts or a spiritual manifestation of a long dead individual. But in reverse, that observation, you could look upon us as peeping into a forthcoming apparition. I see you are confused, so it might be best. Stuff's making sense, isn't it? Like Spicy, bring your ass over here and stop all that Instagram stuff. Excuse my language. So it might be best to leave this alone until you fully understand what immortality is before going deeper. And see, they programmed us, made us think that immortality is something other than who we are, when we're actually really more connected to it. We just are not practicing because we haven't been nurtured appropriately. Why do you think they keep doing what they do? Look at all the junk in the food, man. You think that was there to benefit the bioengineering of things that were natural? These things are perversions. You know, look at them now. Yes, we need transgenders, and these young men and women are confused because they don't know no better. What did he say? Manipulating the mind? Think about it, people. I am informed that your American and European governments have started to experiment with time crystals. These are made up of atoms that constantly spin, but they have been for a long time been overlooked due to their instability. Time crystals were considered highly dangerous because when they are utilized in time travel, they become impossible to manipulate. And they used to pick them up here to Navajo when they were given this land at the Port Defiance in the 60s, or Hopi's land. They used to pick them up right off the ground and put them in big bags and take them to the government for a small change on the back of a horse and wagon. Oh yes, very true, people. I sense my words are not making too much sense to you, so I will attempt to clarify them. If you could travel back in time, you would appear as nothing more than a ghost or a shadow amongst those with whom you come into contact. You would not influence decisions or manipulate actions, and would be nothing more than an observer, like a fly on the wall. Have you ever been in a situation when you notice something out of the corner of your eye, but when you look again, it is not there? That is a simple effect you get from a time travel experience. Or maybe you have placed your car keys on the hall table and they have mysteriously disappeared, yet they are there when you next look. This happened to me a few times. Right where I looked, I didn't see it. I walk up and down, I'm like, come back, wait a minute, I looked right there. Y'all know about that, right? Next look. Most of the time, your brain is merely playing tricks with you. But there will be some instances when this is not the case. Amazing as this may seem to you, you have just experienced a minuscule form of time travel or a diminutive shift in motion. The notion that humans only use 10% of their brain is deeply entrenched in popular culture and often misquoted or stated as fact in books or Hollywood movies. Sidney Hill and Leslie Westbrook followed the patient's reasoning, nodding their heads in agreement. Bolus and Appleyard also seemed to understand what was being said, but it was all beyond Trisha Hunt. All beyond Trisha Hunt. Marcus Thomas rubbed his chin as he tried to keep up. He suddenly realized he had 2 days worth of stubble. Aware that he must look disheveled to his fellow observers, DCI Thomas forced himself to concentrate as the patient continued to speak. The human brain is the central organ of the human nervous system, completed with the spinal cord. Your brain consists of a cerebrum, stem, and a cerebellum, and it controls most of the activities within the human body. These include processing. I'm going to turn this light on. I sun gaze a lot, y'all. I'm not blind. I see very well. Eyes are doing a lot better than what I used to, but I sun gaze quite a bit. I need to break that up too. There we go. Much better. Integrating and coordinating the information it receives from your various sense organs. Listen to that again. Integrating and coordinating the information it receives from your various sense organs. Your stomach is a sense organ. Are y'all aware of that? Gut feeling. Something don't feel right. I got butterflies in my stomach. Dude, I feel strong with this one. And that's because your heart is pushing you beyond the sticking point of your brain and your stomach saying, fuck yeah. Okay, excuse me, my language. Being able to make decisions regarding the instructions sent out to the rest of the body. Listen, integrating and coordinating the information it receives from various sense organs, being able to make decisions regarding the instructions sent out to the rest of the body. The brain is contained within and protected by the numerous bones of the cranium. Your brain absorbs information and filters out all unwanted material, whilst your conscious and subconscious mind filter out useful data and process that information your brain considers relevant. Much like the human body shots out the worthless excess, it retains everything it requires. You know what that means, caca. This says shots. From the thousands of strands of information your senses perceive daily, the brain not only stores what it considers important, it is within these filtered gaps that mind control is possible. So why do you think that they started, instead of using real tin, they started using a lot of aluminum? They figured out Somebody led them, because they're not smart, that aluminum can do very much. The phosphates and all can do much damage to the brain and stop the synapses from firing appropriately, and they would have a sense what they call Alzheimer's or dementia. And they put it in your toothpaste, yes, in the soap, aluminum, glycerides, all that unnatural, unnecessary. By means of thought control, I could teach you a new language in seconds. By similar means, I could teach you to see through through my eyes, excuse me. But I would worry for you, as my eyes have seen so much destruction, because you know what the custodians are all about. Such depravity and violence brought about by men, an example of which happened in Whitechapel in the year 1888. Y'all go ahead, somebody pull that up. Whitechapel in the year 1888. When you come on here, it's good to have a tablet, your phone, or something like that. Well, something you can look on. So let me see if I can pull that up. I come to find out I've got over 4,375 tabs open on this tablet. I need to close a lot of them. I mean, I could just do it, but there's the ones I want to keep. So it is what it is. Whitechapel. Let's go ahead and type it in, and I will show you what I pull up. Okay. See what I can do. Which call it inside here, but excuse me. Damn, did it just pop up like that? Whitechapel murders, 1888. Is that what it is? Holy snizzle! Let's get some. Oh, okay. Let's go back. Okay. Whitechapel in 1888. DCI Marcus Thomas, eyes wide. Okay. All right. Murders. The Whitechapel murders were committed in or near the largely impoverished Whitechapel district in the East End of London between 3 April 1988. You know, Jack the Ripper. Anyway, DCI Marcus Thomas. I don't think I need to show you those pictures, but I surely can. Sheesh. I actually have saved pictures of the original bodies. Oh my goodness. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, it's Jack the Ripper, and they know who Jack the Ripper was, and they believe he was from Chicago, originally from England. Ain't that about a business? So let's get into this. DCI Marcus Thomas' eyes widened, and a faint smile crossed his lips. As a policeman, he was always happy to listen and learn, but he doubted he would really learn anything new. You must all be aware of the evil that only a ruinous man could inflict, such as Jack the Ripper. In defense of Jack, which, by the way, was not his real name, I will inform you that Elizabeth Stride was not his victim or of the so-called Ripper, for he was already busy pursuing Catherine Eddowes. With references to poor Elizabeth, the police should have looked closer to home. Maybe a sinful neighbor or the rent man. The force had always found it easy to add 2 and 2 together and make 5. I'm going to read this one and we'll close this off. Marcus's face reddened with embarrassment. He hated it when the police were taken for fools. The patient must have known that in those early days, detective work was in its infancy. That's a lie. Whether he knew it or not, John Smith didn't care. He just wanted to see Thomas squirm a little. And the stranger continued and said, Long Liz, as she was commonly known, was an immigrant from Sweden. She was married to John Thomas Stride, but they had separated 7 years before her death. On the streets of Whitechapel, on the 30th of September 1888, her former husband had already died in 1884 from heart disease, possibly caused after the Princess Alice collided with the outward bound collier. You know that, whatever that collier disease, whatever. The Princess Alice broke into and sank off Gallant's Point. The local newspapers in Woolwich, where most of the victims, it was a shipyard, were brought ashore, reported that a woman identified as Stride claimed the bodies of her husband and children in the hope of receiving possible recompense from a newly founded charity fund. Subsequent research, however, failed to find any trace of such a woman or report. And it goes on, but we're going to pick that up tomorrow because it goes into another dynamic. He's telling all on himself. He's just like letting everybody know, like, and the way they wrote it, which is so funny, is they wrote it as if he's the good guy, but he's already alluded to it's not about being good or bad. You know, they watch. What they call the custodians. It doesn't mean what we believe custodian means. You know, the ones that clean the building after everybody goes home or keeps the... No. That's not what it means. All right. Flatlantis. Yeah, now we're getting some breeze. Excuse me. So, oh my goodness. All right. You would think such a sight would be worthy of recording, yet somehow, and this is picking up yesterday from when we read the last part, which was by Dr. William Warren, was The Forsaken World, the Promises and Prophecies of an Early Return. You would think such a sight would be worthy of recording, yet somehow no one in history has ever bothered to do so. If we have truly attained the North Pole, and this is direction, we're proving that the Earth is not a ball, okay? Educational purposes, and have permanent and semi-permanent structures with people stationed at and around there year-round. Why in the flat world has no one ever recorded an annual time lapse of this incredible occurrence, which we finished off at yesterday? Now, the polar 6-month day, the polar 6-month day and 6-month night has been written about by diverse cultures throughout history, many insisting that their ancestors or gods were the original inhabitants. In the ancient Indian Vedas, the day of the gods and night of the gods, and we know that's not true. There was no ancient India, unless they're talking about Indian, us. Are you listening now? Paying attention? And night of the gods, were each 6 months in duration, and their gods lived atop. Because you know that was no such thing as India and all that back then. It was all Ethiopia. Mount Meru at the North Pole. Mount Meru. Who would name it such? Meru. Not no more shit, please. At the North Pole, the Surya Siddhanta, the 12th, 67 states that at Meru, gods behold the sun after but a single rising during the half of his revolution, beginning with Aries. And the Institutes of Vishnu says, the southern progress of the sun is with them. A night and a year is with them. A day and a night. Ooh. In Norse mythology, it is claimed that before the present established order of the world, their sun rose in the south, which is what would have been experienced by their polar ancestors. In ancient Iranian mythology, and we know what Iran was called before the 1600s. They say they speak Farsi for what reason, okay? In ancient Iranian mythology, Yima, the first man and king of the Golden Age, lived in an Edenic abode called Vara, where the sun only rose and set once per year. A phenomenon like this cannot fail to be permanently impressed on the memory of a polar observer, and it will be found later on that the oldest traditions of the Aryan race have preserved the recollection of a period when its ancestors witnessed such wonderful phenomenon. A long and continuous dawn of several days, which its lights laterally revolving on the horizon in their original home. Lokamanya Bal Gandhar Tilak. Remember that book? The Arctic Home in the Vedas. Page 46, chapter 7. The heavenly dome rotating perfectly horizontally overhead for polar observers is another unique particularity of polar astronomy found in ancient mythology. In Greek mythology, the gods rule from Mount Olympus, and as the Iliad states, from the upper sky, the celestial dome in which sun, moon, and stars wheel silently around the pole. In the Vedas, Indra supports the heavens as one or on a pole. Holy shit. And upholds heaven and earth and turns the widest expanse as the wheels of a chariot are held by the axle. An imaginary line from the North Pole to Polaris would appear perfectly vertical and like a handle supporting the twirling umbrella of the heavens, or an axis supporting the wheel of a chariot. Who remembers running around the Marriott pole? Any of y'all did that as a kid? As one of the little children we was, that was part of our thing with the ropes. They used to be red, over in, I guess, Sweden or whatever, Deutschland. But we use ropes, and we would run and then make this look like a Chinese finger puzzle. You get your fingers get stuck when we get all the way to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Whoever had the shortest rope. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. And we combine the two statements that the heavens are supported as on a pole, and that they move like a wheel, we may safely infer that the motion referred to is such a motion of the celestial hemisphere as can be witnessed only by an observer at the North Pole. In the Rig Vedas 1:2410, the constellation of Ursa Major, Brickz, is described as being placed high. It has the language word UCHHA with the little rooftop over it. Well, I forget what that word is. A, Uchka, I guess. Sorry for chopping up your word. And as this can refer only to the altitude of the constellation, it follows that it must then have been over the head of the observer, which is possible only in the circumpolar regions. And that's again part of that Lokamanya Bal Gandagada Chalak, the Arctic home in the Vedas, 61. And in the, y'all might know what this word is, and I don't have a freaking clue. I looked at it yesterday and I was like, I was going to look it up. I didn't even care. But in the Mahabharata, during Arjuna's visit to Mount Meru, chapters 163 and 64 of the Vanaparvan state that at Meru, the sun and the moon go around from left to right every day, and so do all the stars. The day and the night are together equal to a year. It means like this, people. None of this. No, it's just right here, right above. It goes around like that. That's what that means. All right. The day and the night are together, equal to a year to the residents of that place. The ancient laws of Manu people, 167 state, a human year is a day and a night of the gods. Thus are the two divided. The northern passages of the sun is the day and the southern and the night. So it's literally like they can see night and day at that particular time. Shit. And the Taittiriya. Again, Taittiriya. I don't know what's silent. Taittiriya Brahmana, I believe, says that which is a year is but a single day of the gods. In the collection of ancient Zoroastrian text known as the Avesta, the Aryan paradise known as Ariana Vahejal is described as a blissful place where the sun rose only once per year and was destroyed by relentless snow and ice, forcing the inhabitants, Earth's original progenitors, to migrate southwards. This same idea that the first humans developed from God or gods at the North Pole is replete within ancient scriptures, and starkly contrasts modern mainstream claims that the first humans evolved from primates in Africa. So again, let me read this again. This same idea that the first humans developed from God or gods at the North Pole is replete within ancient scriptures, and starkly contrasts modern mainstream claims. Not historical or nothing, y'all. We know that there are theories and all the other bullcrap that the first humans evolved from primates in Africa, which is utter nonsense. But we know that's not what Africa was. We know that this place didn't exist, hell, not even 245 years ago. So anyway, that's just funny. 2 excellent books were written on this subject, one by Boston University president and professor Dr. William Warren, entitled Paradise Found. Dr. William Warren, Paradise Found. The Cradle of the Human Race at the North Pole. And another by the renowned Indian teacher and activist Lakshmana Balgandikha, Tilak, entitled The Arctic Home in the Vedas. In both well-researched publications, Warren and Tilak present convincing arguments with abundant supporting evidence suggesting that our most ancient ancestors lived at the North Pole and spread outwards southwards from there, likely due to climate change. Well, we have a good idea because of the custodians and Anunnakis. A lot of things changed because of a great war and our falling away from grace, right? Not bring all religious and shit, but to use terms and words to specifically specify why everything is so separated and diluted and polluted, you know? And we'll pick up on the next part. It's pretty interesting. It's not that I didn't look up the words and listen to them. Let me stop lying. I do. I'm just not repeating them because I'm not learning Hindu. All right? I love being able to figure out some words. I'm just not learning Hindu. If I was learning it, I'd probably be like, blah, 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 all over the place. No, I'm not learning it. Didn't want to. No disrespect to them. I've been over there. Beautiful language. It's not what I want to learn right now. Excuse me. Ooh, that's good. T, I'm about to finish you up in a minute. Gas sucks, man. So we're on the chapter 3, the red planet stained with innocent blood. Before that, we were at Mars, a great zoo, and we went through that. And that makes so much when you think about Admiral Robert Byrd, Mr. Byrd himself. Though he could probably live another couple, 400 years, he's dealing with a lot of wars. Okay. So here we are, chapter 3. And it's English, Spanish. I think it's been translated in a number of different things. But if you look at Amazon or wherever, you'll see that it's only English, Spanish, I think French. The way to Mars is only one way for humans, and for all those races that inhabit these lands, except for the custodial and Anunnaki leaders. But were they always inhabited by these beings? The answer is no. The original race of Martians was annihilated in its entirety when the colonizers passed through their fields. Membranes or domes, as you prefer the term. The time running is different from the known, but innocent death was also present there, and perhaps as never before. The Anunnaki were the first intruders that cut the Martians' liberties and imposed themselves before their millions of inhabitants. The fight was bloody, considering a total massacre of which the records of the custodians do not have in detail. Since the attack was fierce before the Martians, that could do little since their technology was based on their welfare and spiritual development, and they had neither war techniques nor weaponry to defend themselves. The story tells that the last Martians committed suicide. Some theorize with the possible escape, like Masada, which is right in Utah, possible escape of a small group of survivors. But the version that has more weight is the one that tells that all of them were killed by the hands stained with innocent blood by the parasitic Anunnaki race. There are types of plants that can only be found in these enormous and beautiful lands, full of life and color, inhabited by intruders and races that in many cases were forced to move. The control of the parasites that took over this place is still at its maximum level. Also based on security, it is very complex to enter these lands by its only passage that opened the way to exploration, and that was also the fatal destiny of the originals and of a future Mars that we will never see. And then tomorrow we'll pick up chapter 4, the ancestral expedition, the writings of Captain World. And we read about him in the first part, and it's pretty freaking exceptional, y'all. So chapter 4, we'll get into that, and it's pretty interesting, isn't it? So when you think about, well, if the earth is flat Atlantis, right, and you're looking at how things were perceived in different cultures here, it doesn't remove from the truth of what really happened, because we're looking at exploration or climate change. What would bring it on? Interference. Then came along Tartaria and the outward migration. But who migrated? To where migrated? 4 rivers, 4 lands, 4 continents. That at one time was all one. And then you look at the custodian tripping, the life spectacle with the detective, the psychologist, and the all those individuals. And he's pretty much letting them know that, I'm here forever. No, can be killed, but here forever, because he was supposed to be injured. He might be a breakaway. We don't know yet. We haven't finished it, right? And he's pretty much allowing them to know what they're really capable of, what we're capable of. And it's also a test, it seems like, right? To see if anyone has waken up. So, as he said in one part, when they realized that he wasn't harmed and the cameras and CCTVs didn't find nothing of an accident, and all of a sudden there he was sitting up. Now he's telling the story. He's informing them. It's like a big game. You see what I'm saying? No prisoners taken. And they're convincing them because he's showing a detest way or feeling, emotion or something to the way man lives, manipulated by the Anunnaki, and who the custodians came and fought, and we fought all of them, and we were different. And we had the Anakin, and we had our fellow giants who actually helped us fight even the Civil War. See, this is what I don't like, the lies of this fake history that these Zionists keep writing. They're the ones, the progenitors, and they figured that they could use our terms by going anti-Semitic. Like that's going to stop everybody. That's dead now. They're not Semitic. They're not of Shem. Hell, they might not even be of Yaphet. So, it's the truth. You see what I'm saying? And I do believe in there's lizards, and I do believe there's mermaids, and I do, yes, I'm going to say that today. The fact of the matter is, I am just not in that place. That is unimportant to me. You know what I'm saying? What's important is people, we lift our light. You dig what I'm saying? We lift our light. And I mean everybody. If we stay in colorism, we stay in the status ideology, we stay in this new world design epiphany of religion. I say I'm not religion because you see, here comes the retards. India and England, where the perversions all started from. Thank you, Rondo. They're too stupid to know better. What was that? I was telling y'all to look up. I know I've got it in here. I was like, y'all need to look up just not to Tartaria or Zionism. You know what? I know it's way back. I think boy, no, okay. I gotta read for a second, excuse me. My apologies. Why do they gotta keep putting Mardi Gras? Okay. The rockin' Cowbellin de Rockin' Society. Mobile's Cowbellin de Rockin' Society was the first formally organized and mass mystic society in the United States to celebrate with a parade in 1830. I'm telling y'all, all this shit is brand new, but y'all don't want to believe it. Okay? What's that, Zoltran? Okay, secret societies, often with a political agenda, have been a major feature of Taoism for nearly 2,000 years and have been characteristics of Western esotericism. Okay, here we go. Let's pull this one up. Okay. And they're always about manipulating and hiding in front of everybody by acting as if they're part of it, but who and for what? Like right here, the Hermetic origin of the Golden Dawn. So, occult societies were all the rage in 19th century London, but none were as influential as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, founded in 1887 by a trio of Freemasons. The order's teachings were based on a collection of documents known as the cipher manuscripts, which outlined a complex system, which I can download the PDF, of supposedly magical rituals by rising through a hierarchical system of grades. Members worked to establish a connection to their own latent divinity or holy guardian angel of self. Are you paying attention? Wow. Oh no, this page is currently unavailable or cannot be found. You think I was kidding? While many contemporary secret societies restricted their membership to men only, the Golden Dawn happily accepted women as well. Influential theater manager Annie Hornham was a member, as were prolific Scottish writer Violet Tweedle and Irish actress Sarah Allgood in the 1890s. The Golden Dawn's membership roster boasted hundreds of names, including prominent literary figures such as W.B. Yeats and Arthur Machen. And that is unavailable too, isn't it? Oh, it is there. Look at this. So I have the PDF now. So I will invest my time to study all of this as I usually do. Okay. Thank you. And the righteous of harmonious fists. Y'all know us Kung Fu nuts, man. Y'all know about the harmonious fists, the righteous ones. Plenty of secret societies make grandiose but conveniently unprovable claims about their historical influence, but China's righteous and harmonious fists indisputably changed the course of history in 1899 when its members fomented what became known as the Boxer Rebellion. These were the original people before. These were the last remnants of the original people from the Ming Dynasty before these two powerful individuals. You see the same people here in America and Spanish, are the Mongols and Mongols, stolen identities, who conquered that land in the 1600s and created 300 or 400, 500 years of fighting, and Japan and New Islands as well. So the Boxer Rebellion was the last thing, because what they did to those people on those big crosses, like those big X's. Any of y'all ever seen the pictures of what they did to them people? I've got tons of them. I can't show them on here. No real pictures. Americans and British, and French all standing in the background watching these very, very melanated original people of this now called China, and some of the pale ones who sided with them because they respect and, you know, admiration, and they saw the unrighteousness that was happening. So, the Thule Society, the Seven Society, the Leopard Society, the Molly Maguires, the Black Hand. Who remembers that? The Black Hand, people, Westerns and all that kind of stuff like that. How many of y'all remember the Black Hand? And we're talking about 1917, people, and also used in numerous movies. The African American Mysteries. Yes, people, that's real shit. Trust me. That was like most of what we know about the African American mysteries, also known as the Order of the Men of Oppression, comes from an 1887 Detroit Tribune interview with the group's founder, William Lambert. He was a successful black business owner in Detroit and a tireless advocate for black suffrage. This is more, I guarantee you. This is one of the nobles of Europe. Look him up. When we say his name again, William Lambert. Detroit businessman, 1887. He was a successful black business owner in Detroit and a tireless advocate for black suffrage, abolitionist causes, and public education for black children. As the co-founder of the Colored Vigilant Committee of Detroit, Lambert helped more than 1,500 freedom-seeking people escape their enslavers via the Underground Railroad, but the African American Mysteries was a far more secretive operation. To protect themselves, members were taught special passwords and hand signals, and only to white members. White members, are you paying attention? Were reportedly ever allowed in, and only 2 white members were reportedly ever allowed in. According to sociologist Catherine Dupree Lumpkin, the society operated for at least 10 years, and its mostly black members were initiated by elaborate ritual, and some became conductors on the Underground Railroad. Conductors, I told you, was trains underground. Membership, which they long destroyed, covered, and you can see that in New York, Chicago, everywhere, where they actually blocked them off by elaborate ritual and organizing the ranks with titles such as Chevalier of Ethiopia and Knights of St. Domingo. Lambert estimated the group's membership at nearly 1 million free black men and women with, you know what 1 million free black men and women means, right? Anyway, with 60, that means they were never slaves, 60,000 achieving its highest rank. According to Lambert, the group helped as many as 1,600 enslaved people reach Canada in 1 year, with as many as 5 crossing into the country per day. The Rosicrucians. I'm going to talk about the cabal and all that stuff. And there's more than that, but those are the 9 I just wanted to pull up. You dig what I'm saying? Oh man, they've got a whole slew of them over here. 1967 and down. I can't even get into that. Anyway, the Illuminati's real too, y'all. The Illuminati elite society. Anyway, a lot of these things, you think they just came out of nowhere all of a sudden in the 1800s? Who do you think created them to hide information, to destroy? Because what came after that? The World's Fair, right? Between that time and up to it in the 1900, not too long before World War I, when it was imposed to even further destroy as many of the ones around the world, especially the ones that weren't being destroyed in Germany, in Russia, Prague, all them places, Moscow, Italy. They were targeted, but over here they destroyed about 90% of our totalitarian buildings. And then they set themselves up in them as if some vestige of religion or capitals and this, that, and the other. And they were taught and told what to do and how to move, because they didn't have the knowledge to do this. And we slept. And we slept as we were fighting, but we slept. Some sad shit, ain't it? So it all culminates, It all culminates to a certain point. And right now where we're at, we need more light, more spirit than anything. We need true love and empathy, because even with true love and empathy doesn't mean that you cannot be a destroyer. But you don't have to be all contaminated and all fractured when you commit to dealing out justice. It's not about a feeling or emotion. It's about what is required and necessary. If sociopaths and psychopaths can sit there and doll out their measure of, which is not punishment, their satire of perversions, what makes you think that a righteous mind, soul, heart, in the physical and spirit and being can't doll off the same justice without having some fake gown on? Do you know what that black robe means in those in those courts. Dead Sea laws, like in the water. Well, y'all aware of that? A form of a secret oath that has nothing to do with you, but implicates all about us. You see, the implication is all about us. Why is that people don't know it? Because they have a big role to play. And it's all about sacrifice. Some weird kind of morbid sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? So we have to strengthen ourselves. And you don't have to be cordial doing it, but you don't have to make everybody aware of it either. Because if you're making everybody aware of it, then what are you? You some kind of weird seducee? You know what I mean? You got some ego or something? You never attain anything. You got to do away with all our feelings and our emotions. We got to let them go. When you act upon something, that means you're acting upon it because it is intrusive. You need to cut that away from you, and know what you've seen it now. You've elevated a little more. You know that anytime you see anything resembling that, even say if it's a mistake, you know you're not going to partake or parlay. You're not going to entertain it. Okay? It's great stuff, man. Look, well, didn't I tell y'all to look up the Theosophical Society? Didn't I ask y'all early on to look up the Theosophical Society? And nobody wants to. And then you have a clear understanding of Zionism, and this how it became so perverse. How they took words of actual meanings, and it's called Zionism or Zionist. It's not Zion. I mean, come on, people. Let me get some shout outs, man. We are on 16 minutes. Ray Wolfer hit you up. Yolanda Sanders, Alita West Side family, Mama Red, all y'all family. El Dragon Murphy, what's happening? What's happening? Elephants as well. Yes, we had elephants for sure, and camels. Surprisingly, I heard somebody talking about they have found fossilized camels, and that was South America too, so-called South America. We're gonna say it because that's what we know. You know what I'm saying? All my kinfolk, APJR, what's cracking? What's going on, family? Yolanda Sanders. All right. Okay. So pretty interesting, especially when I read them all together. You see, are y'all starting to see how they actually kind of fit together? It's kind of, you would sit there and say, man, that's weird, right? I would, but it's like, hey, Ed, what's going on, huh? It's like, woo, we need to have the old man sit up in here and watch some of the cheerings. But it's amazing how when you start being able to connect the pieces, it's the stuff stands up. I actually went to the post office today just to see, and I had a slip, so meaning something came in. I gotta wait till Monday, and I'm gonna see what it is to see if it's one, a couple of them books. I don't know. I know the one that I ordered with you guys yesterday. It comes on the 18th. On the 18th, and I can't wait to get to that one. But there's so many more. I still have the Gold Disc Akusa, the 5 Rings. I was going to read one of that. I might just upload a couple of readings I already read because I love it. You know, about the feet, the body, how to masticize. You know, I believe they sent all animals and plants from here to somewhere. Of course they did. Of course. Just like squashing pumpkins. You know what cracked me up when they were talking about okra? Look, we don't even grow okra here unless you grow it at home. Okra was predominantly from here. Now what they do? When they got them down there in Mexico, so-called Mexico, growing them and putting pesticide, and okra holds more pesticide than anything. Ain't that about? And that can fix your diabetes and everything. That's how sick this government is, and how sick their government is. They're all one government. I'm not here to talk about them in politics. I really don't give a damn, because they all have to reap what they sow. It doesn't matter what they think and what they're doing. Hey, what's going on, George Richard? What's cracking, man? It's caught up the last 20 minutes. I'll do a replay to it all. Oh man, appreciate that. Yeah, you know, I hope I don't believe I cursed a whole lot, so hopefully, you know, the younger ones can, you know, sit down and listen. Yeah, I didn't really. And tomorrow we're going to pick it up and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it gets a little more, it gets a little deeper, a little more ferocious in this context. And look up some of these societies, and you'll be amazed. You see what I'm saying? Because some things had no, like when I said the African American Society thing, 18. What? Look, man, look it up. Because you got to remember when did Marcus Garvey come here, and Haile Selassie when he ran from well, he was brought here by you know what government, and because they was Italy and invaded Ethiopia. I mean, come on, people. That's why I get upset when I have to make somebody else. Oh man, shut the fuck up. I tell them real quick. And then I give them the history. Did you know that at this time, this is what happened, even though they were defeated, but there was other hands that helped defeat the Italians. And you look at the time frame, the time period, what before and when it became UN. You see what I'm saying? And they came here to attempt to get us up out of here. Look at that piece of excrement who created eugenics, you know, to mess us up. And now look at all these sisters running around with their old weave in their head and killing more of our light. They do it in ignorance. So it's no hate. That's why I say, but you speak on it with a strong tongue, a silver tongue, a tongue that cuts like a dagger to let them know your wounds can be healed. But what you have done you can never change. But you can redirect your focus and get back on your narrow path and deal with your potholes and your obstacles. Because all they want to do is escape it. I mean, I listen to some of the sisters right now, and I'm upset. Feminism wasn't meant for y'all. They can care less about you. Don't let them two CIA operators who put their little fists up, the little fake Zionist Jew woman and the negress. Don't let them fool you with her old jacked up afro. She was a sellout. You know, they could have been as good as Uncle Tom's, you know, and been beneficial and helpful, but no, you know what they were? They were the scourge and the scum. And that's what they were. And there's many more out here. You dig what I'm saying? I say that with no hate. You know? But look up the Theosophical Society. Study some of these societies. And if you belong to one, get your ass out of it. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and let you debate with me. My uncle told me, if I was about to ask one to be one at one time, because of relatives of mine, he said, don't even do it, James. And then that's when I knew. And when I was in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I met that 90-year-old Messiah, you know what, I keep talking about that. Listen, if you're in it, you better get out of it. That's all I got to say. Unless you're there to, you know, but we ain't gonna say that on here. You know, quadruple agents are wonderful. And so are double agents. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. It was great. I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to me. I respect that more than anything. And share it. Make sure your subscription, the notification bell's on. And remember, this is not about harming, hurting. It's not about that. We're just raising a little bit of awareness, and we're reading contextual texts. So that way we have a little something else to look at and say, oh, it's good to ask questions. Now, we know we're moving in a time and era where they don't want no questions asked. They believe they're in control. They really do, because of all the perverse things they've been doing. But that has no influence over us. Okay? So again, I love and respect you all, ladies. I tip the hat for these beautiful ladies. Gentlemen, because you know we are straight shooters. I will see y'all later.